Landed supply barely moved for 25 years, but suddenly smaller landed is everywhere. So what changed? Today we are going to talk about this Straits Times article that says new smaller landlord homes are drawing HDB condo upgraders, and even though landed supply is broadly flat. So today we're going to break it down. Why is this happening and whether compact landed is a smart upgrade or a compromise.
Welcome to another episode of Property Roundtable with myself, Rama, and Rama. Telling you more about the landed property scene in Singapore, as well as bringing value to your journey of buying and selling a landed home in Singapore.
So as you've already seen, we've flashed up the Straits Times articles. A lot of people don't like to read. So I'm just going to give you 3 anchor facts.
Three facts.
3 facts. 3 facts. Okay.
Summarize for you.
Absolutely. So number 1, supply reality. Landed homes rose only 12% from 2000 to 2025, while private flats and condos grew by 228%. Obviously.
Wow.
Okay. What smaller lots mean? Near URA minimum plot size, which is about 1,600 square feet, okay? Which is intermediate terrace, and about 2,000 over for semi-Ds. Alright, so many new projects, they sit around the 1,600 to 3,000 square feet.
Correct.
And number 3, demand trend. New sale of landed, which falls under the 1,600 to 3,000 square feet land parcel, rose, okay, from 2020, from 17 to 2024, to a grand number of 74. Okay, 30 of them already sold in the first 11 months of 2025. So this is what the article is all about.
Yep.
All right, so today we're just going to break it down, all right, and find out from each other's perspective what we think of this article.
Yeah.
So bro, the article says the buyers of this smaller landed plot size, they fall into 3 groups. Can you please help to translate who are these profile?
Okay, I think firstly, when people hear smaller landed, not so much profile. The profile is, well, there are a few kinds. There's terrace, there's semi-D, and there's cluster, shorter landed.
Yep.
So I think when we talk about small, right, there's 2 things we need to discuss. Is the land parcel small? So like 1615 is the smallest inter. But you have another type 2 which is less than 1615. But we also have 1615 square feet land which is typically built by developers. You see the land size 1615 chun one. Usually it's built by developer. Then the build up is definitely like 3-story old school, which you will find places like Loyang Villa, Villa Verde, Westwood, then like that. Usually 3 stories. So when we talk about smaller parcel, right, we are more concerned with asking the buyer or to you, right? Do you know, like when you say how small is what? Is it okay you have a smaller plot but a bigger house, or you want a bigger plot but smaller house? So it could either be the built up or the land size. And also small houses may be very efficient. Especially you see now the new launches, right?
Yep.
With all this harmonization, you see all the square feet not big, right? But when you go in the unit, it feels quite spacious because they have now found the magic balance between smaller sizes but higher efficiency.
So that's the reason why they call it the sweet spot when it comes to the 1,600. Because trust me, if today developers were to acquire land through whatever, amalgamation or whatever, or buy over from a series of landed owners and they divide it into 1,300, it no longer is sweet spot. So I guess that's why they call it the sweet spot 1,600. Right?
So in the landed scene, it is like, for example, if I have to rebuild, right, I have to fall into all the parameters. That means if I want to rebuild a terrace home, right, I can't be like old time where MacPherson you have like 1,300, 1,000. You can rebuild on their plot like that. But if they were to sell and together, let's say the whole row of MacPherson sells all together, for example, then they have to put 1615 back to the same size. But what we're trying to say is do not be fooled by saying that it's small. Because we do see some smaller lots with new builds on it that have 5, 6, 7 bedrooms that are super efficient. The built-up is quite big. So therefore, I think when the article was talking about people like upgrading, people going towards like smaller, so-called compact, smaller lot landed homes, right? It still draws people that come from HDB.
I personally feel the word compact doesn't cut well here because I think to me 1,600 square feet is a decent size.
I mean for the land.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when the
It is,
developer is allowed to build upon it, it's no longer compact. But I guess I understand where they're coming from, because this year itself, there were many launches that fell under this category.
Yes.
So that's why the increase in the number.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, but bro, again, coming back to who are these buyers that are interested or going for this type of smaller
the entry
plots?
level. I think from our interactions with our clients, and of course through the agency and through our network with other agents, right, we can broadly categorize these buyers into a few groups. The term upgrading, right? Remember the old days where we had this 5 Cs, what car lah, what country club, and condo was one of the names in there. Today you got to change already, because you got to change it to the L. Because a lot of people now want to get into the landed space. And one of the categories of people that actually benefited from the run the last 10 years were people who bought like their condos early days in prime sites, prime places, and they managed to sell out with a very sizable profit.
Right.
They are the ones that cash out with gains, and they want to up. In this terminology, if there's downgrade, there's upgrade, right? They want to upgrade into the landed segment. That's one. People who have made profit and want to upgrade. Two is families who need to be near to school, and they think that the kids will be there for a long period. Because the heck is this, your first kid go into the primary, then the whole choo-choo train all follow through, right? So to them, they know that they're going to be anchored in this place for a while. So they try to find a landed home around there that can house their family expansion plans or their family current logistic plans.
That's right.
So that's the second. And third, of course, is the aspirational and investment mindset landed home buyers, which we serve quite a bit. A lot of our buyers are not in the landed segment because they need the space now. A lot of them actually are like young couples, one kid, or young couple, no kid, but they buy like landed because they believe that, you remember just now Rama said, between 2000 to 2025, right? Landed home supply only rose by 12%. Which is, last time was about 71,000. You just go add 12%. Where did this extra come from? Developer take the big plot cut to smaller, right? But condo has risen by 228%. That's almost 19 to 20 folds of the landed supply. Given that the base number is bigger than landed already.
As a matter of fact, I'm happy to hear this line, because the fact that the landed supply has increased is already giving me a positive vibe, because it's very rare it goes up.
But let's also address the fact that the new built landeds in the market are being sold for a premium, because the developer took the risk to buy and then build, and then eventually the buyers who buy save time.
Exactly. So this article also talks about that sweet spot. So just now we spoke about the size in terms of the sweet spot. Now the price. What is the sweet spot price we are talking about of these new built smaller developments?
Okay, so in the article, what they were saying is that many buyers are buying around the sweet spot about 6 million. Then while some launches start just over 5 billion.
Which has been the cheapest so far. Because I don't think you can find any new build that is under 5 lah. Very rare, very rare. Okay.
I think 2 years ago, when you say you have a budget of 4.5 million, right? You might even still be able to buy something that is very new. Right? Fast forward 2 years or 3 years down the road, right? I think that the price realization and the discovery is that you buy Inter today. I think some of the developers in very good prime locations, even below 2,000 square feet, they can ask for north of like $7-8 million. So if you think about that, right, I think the sweet spot of a quantum, well, the article says about 6 mil, but I think from our interactions with our buyers, right, the typical inter terraces or corner terraces, people budget around 5. For semi-Ds, people are around 6 to 7 million.
That's right.
And truth be told, there can be people who do quantum leap from 4-room HDB to a semi-D one. So that's also possible. But affordability is most important. That means it doesn't matter actually how many people are looking at what prices at what price point. There will be a buyer for every price point. But it's that it's more crowded around the lower end. It's more crowded where there are more buyers than supply at the lower end, which we also share with our clients that it's not that we don't want to tell you where you can buy. It's like we don't even know what stock is coming up. So in one of our episodes, we actually spoke about it before. It's like so easy for people to make predictions about condo because there's always the GLS, you know it's coming up, you know can build how many unit, blah, blah, blah. It's so easy to check out your battlefield. And if you don't even check that out, right, buying a condo in a new launch is possibly something that you can do a lot of research on.
Yep.
Landed market, you cannot. You don't know what is coming up. You may know there's a new build coming up, but you won't know his neighbor selling or not. So that's a tough spot. So I think the sweet spot for terraces is about 5. The sweet spot for CBD is between 6 to 7 million. And now detached, I mean, if you're buying an old house, big land, maybe 9 still can hit. But if not, be prepared for 10 and above.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the article goes on to discuss a particular case study, which is a property that was marketed by a company as well, which is the Springleaf collection.
We actually talked about this before.
Yeah, we had an article on this as well. So we had an episode on this as well.
Yeah, we had an episode on this before.
Correct, that's right.
It was launched in August. It was about 5 mil up. 5 mil-ish lah.
Yep. And that was the, again, entry level, lowest hanging fruit again in the brand new segment.
So it was a row of 10 houses. It was actually located at Meng Suan. It's actually located at Meng Suan Avenue, which is off Mandai, but of course, Springleaf is a nicer name.
You know, every project, people go there, they try their best to market the project.
Yes.
They get the things sold. But this project faced so much of difficulty because of the fact that it was in Meng Suan, which is near Mandai lah. And yet, 80% sold within 3 months. That's what the article says.
Yeah. I think to date, I think it's mostly sold lah. But I think the buyers, the 10 people who bought these houses, right? I think the mindset behind what they are thinking is, if I buy at Springleaf collection, the condo, right, it's like 4 bedder or 5 bedder, how much will I pay? And if I just go slightly further down the road on the left turn, I can get a landed for like 5+ million. It makes sense. But this is the concept that these people accept the location first. Now tenure, this is freehold and the Springleaf collection is 99. So tenure, that people that really care about tenure might be more keen on buying something like that. And of course, in a whole row, right, we mentioned before in the episode that when you rebuild a whole row, right, there is a nice collective facade which elevates the value of the place, which is great. But back to the term compact, right? The land size is not that small, so it's about 1,900 plus. The build up is 3.5 stories. So I think it's very livable. And I think for the savvy or the savvy people who are willing to take the bullet about staying there, but getting a brand new house for below 6 million with a land size that is higher than typical inter terraces, it was a very smart decision, I would say.
At the end of the day, what they get is brand new lah, right? And now that you think about all these things that's happening, it can also be interpreted as, wow, the demand damn strong lah, bro.
Yeah, it is.
So does that mean the developers are encouraged to go on the spree of looking out for more land? Do you think developers are constantly looking out for land?
They are, bro.
Yeah, I know, bro. But I just want to know whether you know whether developers are actually actively looking out for land. Actually, they are.
Actually, they are. There are more and more developers, builders that pop up to start building these homes. So this specific group of people find a lot of like value and profit in working this scene. But with them, it's important to have the new builds happening in your house, the area near your landed also. They are the price leaders. We mentioned this before. If you buy a new landed, you can be damn sure you are the most expensive house in the whole landed estate. No need to check one. You confirm the most expensive. But it's not a bad thing because you're getting a brand new house. Your house is rebuilt, let's say new is erected in 2024, it's 2024. Everyone's house is 1960, that's their problem, right? So you can then be happy that if there are builders that are building new homes near your area, right, that your price points will also increase.
So how is this article different from any other article or any other projects where a particular developer buys a land and then rebuilds the land? Okay, when they buy a land, they rebuild, it is still 1-1. The number doesn't change. But this is a part where they buy a series of houses, but they end up building more units than what it actually was. So therefore increasing the number of units that's been transacted.
Therefore, when we look at this article, right, we try to give our perspective towards what's really happening on the ground because research are facts, but ground vibes are very, may or may not be the same.
So buying this kind of smaller plot lands, new build, is it a win or is it going to compromise?
I think we must first go back to the essence of the fact why we say get a position. I started in a smaller landed. That means my land size is below 1615. I did not see myself staying beyond anything after that. I always thought that buying that would be my best run already. But ever since then, I realized that when I wear the same hat as I took when I was buying the house was, this quantum, if I go buy a condo, I only get like 3 room, 4 room. But if I buy a landed, I can make rooms. And then the land is limited, right? So because of that, right, I would say my advice and Rama's advice, we check so much on landed, right, that we believe that as long as the entry point is affordable.
Yes.
And if you can find a house that actually has done some work before, newer condition, I think it's great. If the floor plan hasn't been maximized, you can increase the efficiency by changing the rooms, right? Changing the room layouts.
You would be surprised that a similar unit nearby, but with a 99-year tenure, may be transacting at the same price. And then it becomes a no-brainer.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah. So, and also, if demand is always there, then like Rama was asking, are the builders still finding finding land to build? The answer is yes. Why is that so? But they are very specific. They need like bigger plots where they can subdivide.
Yes.
If not, very hard. 1 for 1, not say cannot, but it's the same project supervisor. They need to deploy the same resources in one plot versus they can do it across, right? So, of course, we all fall back to master plan where there's like land zone control. Some land zone control can only build 1 for 1 replacement. For example, this is a semi-D zone, then all build semi-D lah. You can't suddenly one plot cut up become 3 terraces, cannot. So that land use control is very important also.
So where we come in is we assess whether this kind of small landed, compact landed is a good buy or not. So we have a checklist that's with us. So all you have to do is just contact us and then we may share with you this checklist. At the same time, we are also marketing some of this new build. As a matter of fact, we have quite a fair bit in our inventory. We don't really talk about those properties. We haven't done much on those properties as an episode itself. But that doesn't mean we are not into it. We have a pretty big inventory of new built houses that's available from the 6 million mark onwards. Right? There's many more harbour residences and so much more, right? Yeah. So if you are wanting to know more about those things, do drop us a comment or DM us.
So for a closing, I would say that this article brings a few new perspectives. They're just saying that there are more people who are in a condo, they are looking to upgrade into the smaller, they call it smaller. But I beg to differ. I think a landed, regardless the land size, will provide more space. So, and it also shows that the landed supply is the numbers in the past 25 years in itself. We have never spoken, we have always talked about land being limited, but now you see things in this perspective that 25 years, the supply go up 12%. That means it's less than 1% every year. Versus 228% in 20 years, which is a good, I would say 11 or 12% a year growth in the condo inventory. Not that it's not a good thing, but the product differentiation becomes so high. If you buy something new, it needs to be, if you buy something old, it needs to still be relevant. So you either give them size or you give them tenure. So it's up to you to decide. But for the landed scene, we believe that there are more and more people who might take the plunge to buy a brand new landed. And it's not a bad idea after all. So smaller landed, right, doesn't mean cheap. Correct, bro?
Absolutely, bro.
But it also allows the landed market to be more accessible. So if you are a buyer that cannot decide, right, because you keep going to Property Guru, then you put your budget, then you put the district, then you put the land size. It's always on your terms, like what you want. But can you imagine that? Because the landed market is not like condo. They build a certain size, it's quite easy to find. I want 1,000 to 1,500, I can have, because most of the condos are around that size. Let's say 3-bedder is around 1,000 to 1,003. 4-bedder maybe 1,002 to 1,006. You can find. But landed, not the same. Because it's all, the size, land size could be different one. Different district got different land size as a start. So it could be very different. So if you want to review a specific type of property and you don't even know where to start, you can contact us because we are very clear and logical towards finding property. We don't bear your emotions with you, but we do it, make it very logical.
And we also discuss on why a particular property is priced in a certain manner by the developer. There must be reasons behind, and we know the formula why they do what they do and how they price. And we also compare with nearby estates, okay, and why eventually the developer came up with this particular price.
Yeah.
And whether it's feasible for us to go in at that price.
Yeah, and with all stories, the exit must come with beautiful and must have a nice ending. So whatever you buy, if you intend to resell it, it's also important to get an opinion and perspective as to why you would buy something. You convince yourself it's fine one. You would say, oh, this house, I think if I buy, okay, can, blah, 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 blah. I think no problem, we buy. But if that's not what other people are thinking, you are one person in the marketplace. What we are trying to do is to tell you what the other 99 people are trying to consider when they buy. So I think the value add that we're talking about from Roundtable here is to bring you to that place where you get something that you are able to use it as a springboard for your next purchase, or that if you hold it long enough, the value will only continue to grow healthily. So Rama, any closing statements for this particular article, or do you think next time they should write on other things?
They should write. I mean, they do write, but it's just that I'm just going to take note of that compact word. I mean, I don't really agree on the word compact for this 1,600
That one learned from
size.
the condo one, bro.
Yeah, so...
Condo put compact ma.
Yeah, but I don't
3-bedroom
know.
compact. 3-bedroom premium.
Oh, so they take it from there. So...
No it's just different shape I mean, if you don't name it premium, how do you...
Yeah, but I'm happy that they spoke about who are these buyers, especially the HDB upgraders, what is the dynamic around that area, why they want to buy into this place, all these things. So those part of the article was nice. But apart from that, I just take offense on the compact word.
Yeah, again, we want to not just show you this article and tell you, see people buying. Actually, what we want to do is to tell you that this is the trend. We spoke about it before, and now we want to tell you that that new trends are forming. New buyers are emerging, and unfortunately, you just cannot create enough landed homes to sell to match the demand as fast. So therefore, every position is important. Every opportunity must be reviewed, and keep an open mind. You need to keep an open mind on what are the opportunities available. If not, you're just gonna be very, very disappointed, because you need to wait for someone to sell in that space, and they may or may not sell. So if you like what you watched so far, do share and subscribe, and get your friends, whoever, to turn on the notification button. We are on every Saturday at 6 p.m. and of course you see some of the shorts that's going on. We do exclusive consultations with clients on Google Meeting, and from there we usually would go on and help them in their journey to acquire and sell their current property as well. So if you like this kind of more tailor-made kind of like consultation, or tailor-made kind of like realtor, right, then please look for Rama and I. We are in the business of doing that, like tailor-make your outcome to build your legacy. Thank you, and see you in our next episode.